Greetings, brethren, Hausburger Donkey here, and I have completed, finally, my Barbarian speed paint. My estimation was a little bit off. It did take about 22, 23 hours in the end, so not quite under 20, but I think 23 hours is still pretty good for, what did I say, 55? Yeah, 55 figures. Complete with basing and everything, and I did the exact same basing that I do on my Oathmark goblins, and now, as you can see, I finally have actual the movement trays as well. A thing about them that I didn't really quite realize is they seem tall, like the actual just base now seems pretty high profile, but I think that's just something I'm gonna have to still get used to, because before I only had them on the magnet foil and the bottom was just missing. So yeah, I'm not convinced that it's something that I won't just end up liking in the end. All right, so let's get a good close up of these boys. Actually, let me reduce the lighting a little bit. This is a bit harsh. Let's do this much light, I think is good. Yeah, so these archers are, of course, I would say sort of the least impressive looking ones, because they don't have any shields. So on them, it's really just the skin tone that sticks out. But I think they still look pretty good. I'm still very happy with them. In hindsight, using the dwarf arms on these ones, so the ones with the chainmail sleeves, that's the dwarf arms that I used. I think I shouldn't have done that on the archers, simply because I think these ones that have the actual barbarian bow arms, they just look so much better to me. So yeah, but I still like them a lot. So I won't complain too much. Then we have the warriors. So that's a unit of 10 human archers for Oathmark. Then we have 10 human warriors. And I did say that these will be the warriors by virtue of having these Skyrim and Conan the Barbarian helmets. And these shields from Iberian troops that I still had lying around. So everything else about them is the exact same as all the other barbarians. But now, as you can see here, I think this illustrates it pretty well. Just from having the wash and, you know, like one color and the wash on all the clothes and the leather, it just looks good afterward. Because when you have some details that are really, you know, nicely highlighted, like the skin, like the horns, like the shields, it just ends up working in the end. It just kind of all blends together. And then having a nicely done base also can really, really help improve the look. Of course, I also did these like all the other ones. So there's magnets on the bottom, and there's a magnet on the little tray. So they can all be removed easily, and they stay on when you move them around the battlefield. I still haven't finished the banners. I just wanted to get them actually on the bases and done now. I'll do the banners at a later point. They're not that important. Obviously, it'll improve the look of this and the soldier unit, but yeah, we'll be okay for now. So this is the warriors, and then we have the soldiers, which are obviously on two individual trays of 10 figures each. So on the battlefield they can then be moved together, or I can use them as two 10-man units. If they're moved together and I remove enough figures from them, start at the back of course, you know, then eventually this tray can be removed. So yeah, it's yeah, I like the system for Oathmark, and I definitely will keep this this style of basing. I think it works out really well. All right, so these wonderful lads, let's get a bit of a focus. I think these soldiers are probably my favorite. I do like the shields that come with these Oathmark barbarians, and I did some with minor paint on them. I left some bare, just to make them look a bit less uniform than the warriors. And yeah, some have painted hide shields. It's just very basic, sort of red and white stripes. And then we have the front 10 with the command group, which in this unit is only an officer and a standard bearer. I didn't bother with musicians for the barbarians. Again, very simple shield designs, if any. Leader has 2 hammers. Still a bit stuck down. Just get a close look at this guy. I did, when I was dry brushing the base, I also went slightly over the bottom of some of the capes, of some of the longer capes, just to give them, you know, a little bit more of a natural feel, like, you know, they've been trotting through the dirt and picking some of it up. I think this one as well should have a little bit, yeah, tiny bits that I don't know if you can even see that very well. Just a little hint of the cape being a bit dusty and used. And then the bannerman, of course, has the spear arm from the dwarf kit. And I like this pose quite a lot, actually. Him just sort of looking past the banner, and the banner will, you know, nicely curl out behind him. The banners on these will also be very, very simple, so not going to be anything spectacular. I don't even think I'll make a video on it, because it will literally just be sort of a tattered rag with like axes on them or something. No, nothing too special. And then my 15-man unit that I found a solution for, that is having strips of 5. So this is the unit of Barbarian raiders that will count as human militia. So they all have pretty varied equipment and bucklers. And for these, once again, these are the bucklers from the Victrix Iberian kit, same as the warrior shields are. And then various weaponry that's on the Barbarian kit from Frostgrave. I do like how these turned out. They're probably my favorite unit, because they just look very Barbarian-like and irregular. From the back. I'm really happy with these. And yeah, I thought about this one. It was actually kind of an accident to have these 1x5 movement trays, because when I did order them from war bases, like an idiot, I ordered these bases. So these 125 by 25 bases, I ordered like 20 or 30 off that were supposed to be the big ones. And it was entirely my fault, but it turned out pretty well, because now I have extra ones that I can make into these strips, so that I can more easily have units of 15, which otherwise I'd have to have one of these movement trays with, you know, 5 left off, and that doesn't look as good. I prefer having this. If I know that the unit is 15, then I can use one of these short ones. So yeah, that is my Oathmark Barbarians. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I think they look great. And they're certainly going to be a good opposition force for my goblins. And then eventually, you know, when hopefully I can convince some other people to play Frostgrave, then these will just slot in with my goblin army and become evil barbarians as part of my evil army. So yeah, 23 hours to finish all of this, spread out over probably 3.5 weeks. So not particularly speedily painted in terms of actual real world time, but in actual time spent on them, it was still pretty speedy. So I can't complain too much. All right, I hope you liked them. I don't know what I'm going to be painting next. I might do some kind of palette cleanser before I move on to a next project. I'm definitely not going to have enough time to finish these squig hoppers that I was going to do for the August painting challenge, because August is almost over. So I might have to skip out on this one because I also still have to do a lot of work. So yeah, we'll see. But the next project is certainly coming up, and it's probably going to be more of Oathmark, because I have so much more Oathmark that needs to be painted. Alright guys, see you in the next video. Still looking forward to everybody else's videos, and take care.